effects of smiling and why it's so important for people, both on on our side as a smiler and as someone who's looking at someone being, who is being smiled at. I don't say that very well, but I think I know you know what I mean.
Sure. First of all, for us personally, when we smile, if we voluntarily put our muscles in the shape of a smile, it physiologically makes us feel better. It enhances our mood. So even if you're sitting alone in the dark and you smile, you're going to feel better. You're going to be in a better mood. So it's something you can do anytime, anywhere to just feel better. It also has a lot of social benefits. So when you smile, people perceive you as being more attractive, and then they project other positive qualities. They assume you're more competent, more sociable, and even more intelligent. And so these things are great for you socially. It's also great for the world around us. If we smile at other people, it puts them in a better mood. Researchers have shown that it makes people more generous and helpful just by being smiled upon.
Huh. So when you're asking for something at a store or maybe at the desk at the airport, a good smile will certainly put you in a better place with them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, please.
I was going to say it's really important to kind of invest in your smile. Make sure that you practice smiling. Make sure, first of all, that you have really good dental hygiene. And not everyone invests in this and notices a difference, but I personally use the Philips Sonicare line, and there's one for children as well. And it enhances gum health, it whitens your teeth, it gives you a radiant, beautiful smile that gives you confidence to smile more readily. And then when you look good, practice smiling more. Practice smiling a couple times more a day than you typically do. When you're greeting a family member, when you're picking up a cup of coffee, get your mouth more into the habit of smiling and notice how people react and get all the benefits to yourself.
I'm to ask you about the Philips Sonicare, and is that the kind it vibrates, right?
Yes, it's really great.
Kids love that, especially because it usually has a timer on it, which makes it a lot easier for parents, right, to help them know how long to brush their teeth.
Yes, exactly. It has a timer, and it even has little intervals to tell you when to move to a different part of your mouth. So it's really great for parents. They don't have to stand over them. The kid knows how long to brush each part of their mouth, and then it times out, and they're like, okay, I'm done.
That's great. It's a good way to sort of instill those habits early before as they're growing up. Now, I have this curiosity. Have you read the book Blink?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
He talks about smiles in there.
Yes.
And sort of those microfacial movements.
Yes.
Can you talk about that at all? Because that's fascinating.
All right. There are microfacial movements. You have to be trained to be able to see them, but people pick up very readily. Just these very small differences in our facial expressions affects other people's moods, makes them feel either more included, more comfortable with you or not. And so we have the power, just by making these very small changes, not something that's going to take a lot of effort, just smile a little bit more readily, to give other people this feeling of inclusion and happiness.
I'm also always curious, do you know sort of why we smile as humans? I mean, did cavemen smile at each other? Were they showing each other their teeth? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. It's a universal gesture of friendliness, crosses all cultures, just like there's different expressions that animals use that represent fear, that represent danger, that represent everything's okay and comfortable and I'm happy. Smiles are the I'm happy. We learn to smile as infants, and babies learn to create a positive world around them. When they smile, people pick them up, they feed them, they make them happy, and so we quickly learn that this is a social benefit. Sometimes we fall out of the habit when we're adults of taking advantage of that. We might be more self-conscious about our teeth. We don't like the way they look. But it is an instinct.
I was going to ask you about the self-consciousness, because I know that sometimes people, they come off as unfriendly, but it's because they have a subconscious or a self-conscious issue with themselves, not that they're trying to make the impression of being, unfriendly.
Yes. They might not feel, when I talk to my clients, they say, I just don't like the way my teeth look, or I don't feel confident. And so it's really helpful, and it's very easy to do with some of these great products, that you can make your teeth look whiter, your gums healthier, and have that confidence. And then you can release that inhibition and then smile more readily. And it's amazing how the world around you will react.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for kids to start having this really great habit of great oral hygiene. It'll affect their whole life. In fact, there's one study that showed that people that smile broadly in childhood have later lesser divorce rates than people that don't. So,
wow, that's really interesting.
I know, isn't it fascinating? So if kids could get more comfortable, have better hygiene, smile more readily, they may in fact have better relationships in their adult years.
Wow, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. These are wonderful, interesting tips for families about their smile, about how to raise their children too, actually, to smile.
Yes.
So
Thanks,
we really
Mary
appreciate
Jo.
your time. Thank you so much.